Okay, I'm going to take a look at Uber. Some bearish news sent it down today. Not a huge drop, but the news is that Softbank is selling 45 million shares of Uber. And the other article I seen, Softbank said to offer 2.1 billion Uber stake via Goldman. That's not their whole stake. They're just trimming the stake from 184 million shares. They're trimming it down by 45 million shares. So they still are going to have a large position in the company. Now, let's take a look at the chart. It is right around this critical support level of $43.17. Let's give it the $43 mark, as there always can be fake outs, and then it's actually a good time to buy a stock. Big spike in volume today, but what's notable is that the bulls weren't able to fill this gap over here, and that does show some weakness. The bears stepped in as it got closer to filling that gap, and the bulls decided to get out of some of their positions. We did get a bearish MACD cross a couple weeks ago. That would have been a signal of some of this potential downside. We're unable to get a bullish MACD cross over here. We're not oversold yet on the RSI. The bulls definitely are going to try for that double bottom off of this area on the weekly. Also looking at that lower weekly Bollinger Band as a potential support level. And if these areas do break, then we could be looking at that 100-week moving average around the $40 mark on Uber. You look on the monthly, and this didn't look so good. And I actually noticed this several months back. I saw these big upper wicks of profit taking every month, and it looked like a big bearish rising wedge essentially on the monthly. Okay, that I was noticing. I know it's not totally clear because these got out of that area, that range, but in general, it was always closing within this tightening range, and it looked essentially like a bearish rising wedge to me. And obviously, those upper wicks of profit taking were concerning. So I noticed that, and bulls are going to look to set a higher low on the monthly above this level, ideally. If they do break this level, they're going to want to hold around this area, which is that $36 mark. And that's that next very clear support area we're looking at if Uber does, in fact, break this support area with some follow through. You see this big gap up down here. The low of this day was 39. This area, this big gap, is the next big critical area to look at for support. I would most definitely expect it to rebound around there. Could we see a rebound already? I would be a little bit cautious because we were unable to fill this gap. We're really close to this support level, which is around that $43 mark. Let's take a look at the hourly. High volume at the lows, which is good. You want to see this support hold, $43.60. That's the low of the pre-market this morning. The low of today was 44. Those are the supports that we're looking at. If those do break, then we could be looking to test this level. And if this does break and it holds below, we could be looking towards that $40 mark and high $30 mark as the next area to look at. If we do go bullish tomorrow, then that's a good sign. Could be a weekly double bottom potentially that we're looking at. But right now the momentum is still to the downside. It's trading below that 4-week moving average. So there is some downside momentum. What you want to see ideally is this level to hold, maybe an indecision candlestick here, and then a breakout from the bulls back above, or you just want to see a big push tomorrow. If we get a steady day tomorrow above this level and make a little bear flag and break below, that would obviously be a bad sign. Or if we just go straight with follow through and a big red candlestick tomorrow, that would be a bad sign that we could be testing that high $30 mark and this clear support area over here. So we shall see how it's going to end up playing out, although this weekly was the red flags were there up here. It was riding this support level as well. And once that broke, you could see just a big flush. And the stock is still showing a lot of weakness. So I would be a little bit cautious going bullish on it just yet. Watch the range of today for clues and this support for clues, and whether it fills this gap or not for clues. If it fills this gap, that is showing strength, and that could be a good sign. If it's unable to fill that gap, I do see that as a red flag, and this could potentially be a breakaway gap suggesting further downside. I'm not saying that's what it is. I need a bit more data, but it does look a little bit concerning around here, and the weekly trend does look fairly weak, and the monthly trend does as well. So we're really, bulls just want to hold that support level. That would be the best scenario for the bulls. Keep an eye on that. You could buy around that area, maybe put a stop loss below, but this isn't financial advice. Overall, I would say the momentum is still to the downside, and we could be testing that 100-week moving average around that $40 mark if this area does break. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope I've helped. Check out more videos soon. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and please press that like button. Thanks. Have a good night.